Hi everyone, today's lesson is going to be about subtracting mixed numbers. In this lesson, we're going to learn 1. Subtracting mixed numbers and whole numbers, 2. Subtracting mixed numbers and fractions, and 3. Subtracting mixed numbers and mixed numbers. Let's start with the first one. Subtracting mixed numbers and whole numbers. What does the rule say? It says subtract the whole numbers, write the fraction. In the first example, 6 is a whole number, 4 is another whole number. So I'm just going to subtract 4 from 6, then my answer is going to be 2 and 13 over 32. Since 13 is a prime number, then this is my final answer. Now, focus and pay attention to the second example. 10 minus 3 and 7 out of 15. This 10 over here is a whole number. I need to change it into a mixed number, which means that I need to change it into a whole, and next to it I have a fraction. How do I do that? I subtract 1 from the 10, so this will make it a 9. Now this one that I subtracted from the 10, I'm going to write it as a fraction where the numerator and the denominator are the same. Where do I get them from? I look at the denominator of the second mixed number. It's a 15. Then this is going to be 9 and 15 out of 15. So the 10 is going to be changed into 9 and 15 over 15 minus the 3 and 7 over 15. What will I do over here? 9 minus 3 is a 6 and 15 minus 7 is an 8. So my answer is going to be a 6 and then 8 over 15. Pause and look at 8 and 15. If you can, simplify them. Well, of course not, because 8 and 15 are numbers with different factors. They don't have anything in common. Number 2, subtracting mixed numbers and fractions. I needed to pay attention because this has two types, where subtracting mixed numbers and fractions having the same denominator, or subtracting mixed numbers and fractions having different denominators. Let's look at the first one. Subtracting mixed numbers and fractions having the same denominator. What does the rule say? It says write the whole number, subtract the numerators. So in the first example, I have 3, that's my whole number. I'm just going to write it down, and next to it, I'm going to subtract 5 from 11 and write the answer. So my answer over here is going to be 3 and 6 over 21. But 6 and 21 are both multiples of 3. So I'm going to divide by 3, and my final answer is 3 and 2 over 7. In the second example, the whole number is 7. I'm just going to write it down, and then I'm going to subtract 4 from 8. Then my answer over here is going to be 7 and 4 over 13. This is in the simplest form because 13 is a prime number. Now B, subtracting mixed numbers and fractions having different denominators. In the first example, I have a denominator 6 on one side and a denominator 12 on the other side. Before you start multiplying, ask yourself this very simple question. Can you change the 6 into a 12? Well, of course. And how is that? By multiplying by 2. So what I'm doing is that I'm finding the same denominator. So I multiply by 2, and the 5 over 12, I'm going to keep it as it is. So 3 and 6 over 12 minus 5 over 12. Now, what I'm going to do is the 3, I write it as it is, and next to it, I'll subtract 5 from 6. So my final answer is going to be a 3 and 1 over 12. This is in the simplest form since 1 is a prime number. In the second example, I have a denominator 7 and a denominator 4. The rule says find the same denominator, then subtract the numerators. Can you change the 4 into a 7? No. So what's the common multiple between 7 and 4? It's a 28. How do you change the 7 into a 28? Of course, by multiplying by 4. How do I change the 4 into a 28? By multiplying by 7. So now I have 2 and 20 over 28 minus 14 over 28. Again, write the whole number, then subtract 14 from 20 and write the answer over 28. So this is going to be 2 and 6 over 28. Well, 6 and 28 are both multiples of 2. So I'm going to divide both by 2, and my final answer is going to be 2 and 3 over 14. 3. Third part of our lesson, subtracting mixed numbers and mixed numbers. Here I also have two cases, subtracting mixed numbers and mixed numbers having the same denominator. B, subtracting mixed numbers and mixed numbers having different denominators. Let's see. What does the rule say for subtracting mixed numbers and mixed numbers having the same denominator? Subtract the whole numbers, subtract the numerators. In the first example, my whole number is 9, the other whole number is 5. So I'm going to subtract them, which is a 4. Then I'm going to subtract my numerators. The first numerator is 5, the second numerator is 2, and 5 minus 2 is a 3. So my final answer should be 4 and 3 over 7. Let's look at the second example. 7 and 10 over 11 minus 3 and 4 over 11. Subtract the whole numbers, so 7 minus 3 is a 4. Then subtract the numerators. 10 minus 4 is a 6. Then my final answer is going to be a 4 and 6 over 11. Both of my answers are in the simplest form. This 7 is prime and this 11 is prime, so I cannot divide to simplify. B, subtracting mixed numbers and mixed numbers having different denominators. What does the rule say? Find the same denominator, subtract the whole numbers, subtract the numerators. Let's see. I have a denominator 2 and a denominator 4. Can I change the 2 into a 4? Well, of course, yes. How? By multiplying by 2. So now my answer is 5 and 4 over 4 minus the 3 over 4. I'm going to subtract the whole numbers. 5 minus 2 is a 3. Then subtract the numerators. 4 minus 3 is a 1. Then my answer is going to be 3 and 1 over 4. It is in the simplest form since 1 is a prime number. In the second example, I have a denominator 5 and a denominator 6. Can I multiply the 5 by anything to change it into a 6? No. So what's the least common multiple between 5 and 6? It's the 30. How do I change the 5 into 30? By multiplying by 6. How do I change the 6 into a 30? By multiplying by 5. So my numbers now are 2 and 24 out of 30 minus 1 and 10 out of 30. Subtract the whole numbers, then subtract the numerators. So 2 minus 1 is a 1, while 24 minus 10 is a 14 out of 30. 14 and 30 are both multiples of 2, so I'm going to divide by 2, and my final answer is going to be a 1 and then a 7 over 15. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you watch the video more than once to understand the lesson, and I'll see you soon.